Hello, I'm Teacher Robin. Welcome to another live streaming class. If this is your first time to join us, let me explain how the classes work. Today we're going to talk about English at a restaurant. So if you have any questions, you can write your question in the comment section and I'll be checking them throughout the class. So anything that wasn't clear, anything you want to know, or if you just want to say hi, you can write it in the comments. All right? So this is a very practical topic that I've chosen for today. If you've been watching other live streaming classes this month, you'll know that we did a poll and the top subjects, the top topics that you wanted to learn this month were grammar and travel. Okay, so we've been alternating and this is the last class of the month, and today we're going to talk about a travel related topic, because if you are traveling in a foreign country and you go out to a restaurant, you might need to use your English. So I'm going to take you through all the steps from when you first enter the restaurant until you pay and leave. Okay, so first, when you arrive, you need to ask for a table. So you can say something like, could I please have a table for two? Okay, or you can say, do you have any availability at the moment? This is if you haven't made a reservation ahead of time. Do you have any availability? Or if you need to wait, you can ask, can we have a drink while we wait for a free table? Okay, so once you are seated at the table, you can ask the waiter, could you please bring me the specials menu too? Okay, so the specials are maybe something that isn't on the regular menu that they have going on that evening, that day, that week, etc. So you can ask for the specials menu if there's something else that you'd like to try. And if you need some time, especially if the menu is in English, if it's not your native language, you might need a little bit extra time to go through everything. So you can say, could you give us a few minutes to browse the menu, please? Okay, so browse means to look through and to decide on what you're going to have. Okay, first thing you might want to do is order a drink. So you can ask about the different kinds of drinks that they have or any recommendations to go with what you're going to order to eat. So you can say, which wine would you recommend to pair with the steak? So when we say to pair with, it means that they go together, okay? So normally, for example, when you eat a steak, you'd probably have a glass of red wine. So the waiter can recommend their selection to you, okay? For example, is the house white wine dry? All right, so whenever you order a drink, if you order a wine, their house wine is the one that they normally serve. Obviously, they might have a longer list of options, but the house one is just the standard one. Okay, could you tell me if the beer on tap is local? Maybe you're traveling somewhere that is known for its beers or craft beers, so you can ask if the drinks or the beer is local. So that means that it's made there in that city or that country. Okay, what might you need to ask when you're ordering your food? Okay, for example, were the mussels caught locally? Okay, if you're ordering seafood, you might want to know or make sure that it's fresh. So if you say something like caught locally, it means that it's from that same day. Which steak is the most tender? Okay, so you can ask about the different kinds of meat that they have. If you want something that's tender, that's soft, you can ask for their recommendation. Or if you're planning to share something, to order maybe some appetizers to share, you can say, is the sharing platter very big? So that means if it's enough for 2 people or 3 people to share. Okay, very important. If you have allergies, you always want to double check what ingredients are in the food, okay? Sometimes it's not always written on the menu. So you can say, can you tell me if this is gluten-free? Okay, if you have celiacs, then you will definitely need to ask this question if the food is gluten-free. Can you assure me that this meal hasn't come into contact with nuts? All right, if you have a nut allergy, then you want to make sure that the food isn't cooked anywhere near something that might contain nuts, or you can just say, does this contain nuts? Another possible question, which dishes are suitable for celiac? So again, if you can't eat food with gluten. You can say which dishes are suitable, so that means are appropriate that you can eat for celiacs, or maybe if you're a vegetarian, you could say which dishes are suitable for vegetarians or vegans, or if you are lactose intolerant, something like that. Make sure that you let the waiter know. Okay, if you are enjoying your meal, then tell the waiter about it. Maybe even compliment the chef who cooked it for you. Okay, so some different ways to say that. The steak was cooked to perfection. Thank you. Okay, if something was cooked to perfection, it means that it was very, very good. All right, the fish and garlic sauce was delicious. Okay, so whatever you ordered was delicious. You can say that. I thoroughly enjoyed the dessert. It was very tasty. So if you thoroughly enjoyed something, it means that you liked it a lot. And if it was very tasty, again, it means that you're very happy. All right. On the other hand, if you need to complain about your food, if there's something wrong, something that you ordered that wasn't correct, here's some ways to politely complain about your order, okay? It's always a good idea to be polite, even if you're not happy. We want to say it the right way. So, for example, you can say, I'm very sorry, but my meal is cold. Could you please warm it up? Okay, another way to complain. I am sad to advise you that there is a hair in my salad. Okay, if there's something in your food that shouldn't be there, you definitely need to tell the waiter. And another way, this is very formal, but it's also very polite. It is with great regret that I need to let you know that the food wasn't to a great standard. So if in general you weren't satisfied with your meal, you can say it wasn't to a great standard. All right, so once you have finished your meal, you have to order the bill and then pay. Okay, so when you want to ask your waiter or when you want to let them know that you're ready to pay, you can say, when you get the chance, could you bring us the bill? So this is a nice way, instead of saying, I want the bill now, you need to say, when you get the chance, when you have time, when you have a minute, could you please bring us the bill? Okay, so this is kind of just turning it around. Could you bring us the bill when you have a moment, please? Or, we'd like to pay the bill now, please. Again, adding the please is always a good idea. Just an extra way to be polite. So, if the bill comes and you don't think it's correct, if you see a mistake, you can let the waiter know. For example, I'm sorry to trouble you, but I think there's a mistake on the bill. Okay, it says on the bill that we had a glass of wine, but we didn't. Could you please tell me why the steak is not the same price as advertised on the menu? Okay, sometimes this could happen. Maybe you were told about a special, you thought it was one price and it turns out to be another, so it's important to double check that information. Okay, before we go to our questions, I want to just say hello to a few people who have written in the comments. Rosa, Yuyud, Mohamedou, and Leslio, say hello. Okay, thanks for joining. I hope you found this information useful for your next trip to a restaurant in English. And I want you to participate now by writing in the comments. So I'm going to ask you 3 questions and I want you to write your answers in the comments. So the first question is, what is your favorite type of cuisine? So cuisine is another way to say food. What's your favorite type or style of food? What is your best restaurant experience? And have you ever had a bad experience eating out at a restaurant? Okay, so answer those 3 questions in the comments. And as you're doing that, let me tell you more about our course here at Abba. So if you want to continue practicing your English, you can do that with us through our Abba course. If you don't study with us already, you can go to abbaenglish.com and there you can find out more information. We have a complete course from beginners to business level, and our course features 144 units. Each unit starts with a short film, then you have a video class, explaining the grammar, and you have exercises to practice all of your 4 skills, reading, writing, speaking, and listening. So all of that is covered in our course. So check that out on our website if you haven't already. In addition to the course, we have our blog called our Abba Journal. So there you can find articles about all kinds of topics related to English, even more about travel, like English at a restaurant, English for travel. We have topics like business, grammar explanations, so a lot of really good information on our blog. And we are available on all of the social media networks, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram, and we are constantly updating those channels every day. So check them out if you haven't already to learn something new in English every day with us. All right, so now I'm going to check your questions. I think we have a few already, so I'm just going to wait for it to be posted. 1 second. All right. Monica says her favorite food is Chinese food. Okay, great. So have you had a good or a bad experience eating out at a Chinese restaurant? Where was it? I mean, maybe not the specific restaurant, but what country? And what happened. Okay, so I see we have a couple more comments. All right, Celine says Mexican food. That's also my favorite, Celine. I agree with you. So where do you like to go for Mexican food, Celine? Do you have an experience to share with us? Feel free to do so. All right. Okay, I see several people are writing. Well, while you're doing that, let me just tell you about next week's class. We're going to go back to a more grammar-related topic, which is question tags, past, present, and future. So I know many students don't know what question tags are or don't know how to use them correctly. So I'm going to clear up all of those questions for you next week, same time. All right, let's see who else has written in the comments. Yanaporn and Jeremiah said Filipino food. Okay, that's great. So a lot of different variety. Many students are sharing. Good. Has anyone written about an experience? All right, well, that could take a few minutes, so don't worry. Lazio says Japanese. Okay, fantastic. All right, well, if I haven't answered your question during the live class, remember that you can keep writing and I will check your comments and I'll be sure to answer your question in the comments. And remember that all of our classes after they're live, they go to the video section of our Facebook page. So if you click there, you can find all of our previous classes. We've done tons of classes about lots of different topics, so you can watch them again, you can pause, take notes, you can share them on your own Facebook page, or you can tag a friend you think might want to watch the class. Okay, so keep that in mind. After the live class, you can watch the class again in case you missed something or you joined us halfway through. Okay, so I want to thank everyone again for joining. I hope this class has been useful for you. Join us next week for a class about question tags and have a great rest of your day. Take care and I'll see you next time. Bye.